Hello and welcome to the Be Heard, Be Brave, Be Free channel, where the focus is on self-improvement and creating a tribe community where we are empowering, encouraging and supporting each other through this life experience. We are all spiritual beings choosing to have this human experience, and there's challenges and obstacles that come in our way, and this is an opportunity for us to feel a little bit less alone. I've been going through a 6-week experimentation where I've been trying out different formats. On a Monday, it's all about self-reflection. Wednesday, which is today's video, is all about education. And on a Friday, it's about storytelling. So I'm trying to find my kind of voice and the way that it resonates and it feels comfortable for me to be in front of the camera and sharing either my life experiences or the tools and techniques that I have gained through my extensive self-development phase that I've gone through over the past kind of 22-23 years, but more in particular around the training that I've had over the past 18 months, where I have pivoted my career for being a qualified accountant in the financial services onto the online coaching and therapy space, where I have trained with the Rapid Transformational Therapy School and Marissa Peer. And I've done hypnotherapy, and this is where I had the 1-year anniversary of completing that live event last year in Rushden, and I was qualified as a hypnotherapist, and then I continued to do my therapy a course up until November, and then I completed my coaching certification in March this year. And bringing all of those tools and techniques that are just supercharged and particularly focused on helping people transform their lives in the shortest period possible. Bearing in mind that we've all got life circumstances and responsibilities in our lives that may not allow us to fast track changes. It might require us to sort of like stop start, and that's totally fine. And this is where, through my online business, I offer bespoke packages that sort of like cater to what the client's needs are. So in today's session, what I wanted to do is cover the kind of tools, techniques and educational aspects of what I've been doing over the past few weeks that may prove useful to yourself. So I had given myself a challenge to complete reading a number of books over the 6-week period, and I've actually started this week reading this book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. Now, a lot of podcasts and videos and educational information on YouTube make reference to this book. So there will be elements of it that I'll sort of like probably cover off in future videos. But the kind of thing that I want to sort of share at this stage is that in order for us to be able to make changes and those changes to be long lasting, if we're not working with the subconscious, but we're working just with the conscious brain, then what we need to do is challenge our thinking, challenge the thoughts, challenge the beliefs that we have. And by challenging those, we're able to sort of let go of the ones that no longer serve us. They're actually limiting us, keeping us stuck and not making the progress that we want, and creating the capacity for new ones to come in. But most people, what we tend to do is we just overlay. We never go back to the foundation to see, is the foundation really, really solid? And have we got a strong connection between our kind of base foundation, which I refer to as our core values, and why we want to achieve a certain goal? And in order to make that connection between the two, it is really value add to revisit our core values on a fairly regular basis. And by that I mean every few years. Because some of your values are really never going to change, but maybe the sequence and the priority in which they actually appear, that might shift over time. So there is a website, and I'll attach the link below, where you can actually take a free test to identify what are your top 5 core values. And this is where there's a number of values that you probably resonate. So when I did this exercise earlier on this week, I actually identified 31 that I resonated strongly with. But then what this test allows you to do is then start whittle down the 31 down to your top 5. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you my kind of top 5, and that these have actually changed over time, what the top 5 are. So I did this exercise with Tony Robbins as part of the Date with Destiny course that I actually undertook in December 2019 in Florida. And it was about that was probably the first time in a very long time that I actually really looked at my values, and rather than doing the whole kind of people pleasing and over giving, my focus was more that I wanted to be kind and compassionate, and that was where the kind of focus was back then. And it was really interesting doing this exercise like 5 years later to find out that I'm actually, some of my top 5 have sort of shifted. And so my top 5 are freedom, inner harmony, compassion, authenticity, and love. So the inner harmony is something that is brand new, because for me that was probably way low down in the kind of values. And over the past few years, this is where the kind of work-life balance and not wanting to burn out and be chronically stressed and emotionally drained, that is where, in order to have that, you need to have that inner balance and being present in the here and now. Because at the end of the day, we are human beings. We are not human doings. We can do a great deal, but that isn't the purpose that we're here. That is not what the intention is, that we're going to constantly having to work hard in order to achieve things. It's about being also able to enjoy celebrate the small victories, the small progress that you're actually making, because happiness and contentment and joy isn't at the end of achieving a goal. It is in the journey of attaining that goal, of attaining that result. And it's also about taking the time to be present, to assess, is this goal really what I want? Maybe it was what you wanted at the beginning of the year, but is it really that same goal that you want to achieve at the end of the year? Or has that goal changed and morphed? We are entitled and allowed, and we are worthy of changing our minds and changing our goals and our aspirations, because every day we're changing. And as Marissa Peer says, we get the opportunity to change twice every day, or every time that you want to sort of make a change. Because once you change the way that you think, the words that you use, you change the feeling that you're experiencing and also the action that you're actually taking. So it's about, there is no race that we're all working towards. The end of the race is when we're going to take our final breath and leave this human experience, this life experience that we're going through. So what is the point of us rushing to get to that finish line? It's about the journey. It's about enjoying the experience, about learning, growing, and experimenting, seeing what works, what brings you contentment and joy, and figuring out what tweaks and adjustments you want to do to enhance that life experience. And this is where a lot of people will, I want this goal and this is what I want to achieve. And they might have a why, the reason that motivates them to try and achieve this goal. And that why might be surface level. It might not be strong enough. So when obstacles come up, when life circumstances change, when things start getting tough and challenging and difficult, then we've got a tendency to want to just give up and not keep pushing through, or that we actually feel that we're going backwards as a result, rather than sort of moving at the pace and speed that we want to. And it's all about understanding what is your core values, what do you truly value, and that then underpins your strong why you want to achieve a certain goal. And I'm going to share one of my kind of goals, which is I want to have a healthy relationship with food. Over the years, I have done a lot of harmful eating through binge eating or then doing extreme restriction. I've had a kind of unhealthy relationship with food where I used sweet foods as a reward to do things that I didn't want to do, and that is a behaviour pattern that stems back from my childhood, where love was demonstrated to me through large portions of food, sweet food, that you went and visited relatives, and the first thing that happened when you sort of entered the house was you were offered a sweet treat or a sweet drink, and then later on you were offered some more food to eat. And it was perceived as bad manners if you didn't accept the sweet treat or you didn't eat the food that was actually being given to you. So there was that kind of dysfunctional relationship with food, the reward and the kind of people-pleasing elements of it. But throughout my life, I've then sort of like wherever I've needed comfort, wherever I've wanted to sort of reward myself for having got through a stressful period at work, or where I felt that I was too tired to cook healthy food, then I would sort of like, oh, I'm just going to reward myself with a takeaway, or I'm going to buy some ready-made meals, which are not the most kind of nutritious food that are going to nourish your body. And then of course you're going to be through that kind of whole cycle of your glucose spikes, and your body is going to then start craving more food, more energy. So not a healthy kind of relationship to be in. And because I've had that kind of reward from early childhood, and then the kind of black and white thinking that it has to be one or the other. You're either eating healthy 100% of the time or you're eating unhealthy. It wasn't let's get the balance of an 80-20. That is something in business that you try and achieve the kind of 20 biggest outcomes or goals, because that'll give you 80% of the rewards and benefits and get you closer to achieving your ultimate goal. And you can ignore the other 80% because that is not going to give you as much benefit. So within that concept, logical, rational idea, that all makes perfect sense. But when it comes to emotions, and this is where if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling that you've put in a lot of hard work and effort and you want to be rewarded, you want to be comforted, this is where logic will always lose when it comes in battle with emotion. Emotion will always win in that situation. And as a result, I created this kind of black and white thinking, and my language towards me was very, very critical and negative. And it was like, well, what's the point of you being good tomorrow? If you've been so bad today, then you might as well just keep on being bad for the rest of the week, and then we'll start on Monday. That was always the kind of little chatter in my head. Oh, wait until Monday, let's get through the weekend, and then Monday would come, but then your body would be going through the kind of glucose spikes and crashes, and it wouldn't be able to stick to the healthy food because you weren't probably not giving it the right portions of healthy fats and protein and the right kind of carbs and fibre in order for your body to feel nourished and satisfied, and therefore not craving all the other kind of foods that were just going to give it that instant energy and that instant gratification. So my relationship with food has been extremely unhealthy in the past, and over the past 18 months I've been making more of a conscious effort to rewire the way that my kind of thoughts and my emotions have been linked in that space. But this is where my kind of core values are, and this is where I want to be authentic. I want to be compassionate and kind to myself, and I want to have the freedom to get up and go and walk wherever I want to walk, go up a hill or walk along a beach, and have the energy and the capability within my body to do all of these activities. And in order for me to do that, then that's my core values, and that creates my really strong why as to why I want to have a healthier relationship with food, rather than just saying, I want my health to be better, I want to have a bit of energy. It comes back to my core values. And as a result, my why is strong enough that then it promotes me to actually create the right strategies, put the right coping mechanisms in place, that when the day comes where I'm feeling a bit tired or I'm feeling emotionally drained and I want a bit of comfort, what am I going to do in terms of food? And this is where last week I did a little bit of batch cooking. So I cooked some healthy chicken and put it in the freezer, and I also created some healthy bread as well. So that way I can still get the kind of comfort element, but I'm getting the healthier aspects of it, rather than just going to the store and buying some bread from the store that is probably the most unhealthy thing that I could possibly put into my body. So it's about getting that kind of strong correlation between core values, a strong why as to what you want to achieve in terms of your goal and outcome, and then creating the right plan and map of how to get from where you are now to where you want to get to. And for me, that is over the next couple of years. I want my body to be fitter, leaner and stronger, have more energy within it, but rather than it being that kind of strict, I need to reduce weight and I need to do it in a very strict timeline. It's about changing the narrative in order to make it sustainable, to make it fun, to make it enjoyable in the process, rather than it being that it's restrictive, it is black and white, it is putting pressure, because that is when obstacles will come in your way and then you'll just be like, well, what's the point? I'm not even going to bother. So the scales isn't something that I'm using to monitor these kind of changes, but it's the core values, the why, and then the trial and error, trying different strategies to see what works, what doesn't work, and then fine-tuning that. So what are you like? Do the test, and if you've done a similar kind of exercise through a different tool, or it's something that you do fairly regularly, tell me, share what your kind of top 5 values are. And what I also do is I do the Wheel of Life, and I've mentioned that in a previous diary vlog, and this is the Mind Store Wheel of Life, where there's 12 aspects, and this is where having your core values and then aligning your core values to the different aspects of your life enables you to then see where do you want to focus, and does that what you want to aspire and the goals that you want to achieve in each of those areas, does it align to your core values? And then it just creates that stronger why, and it creates that kind of resilience for you to keep going when things do start getting a bit tough. And in terms of I think that's it. I think I'm going to wrap it up here. So let me know in the description if what your top values are. Tell me if the mic is working, because this is a new attempt at having a better audio sound. If you like and enjoyed the content, because this is about me finding the right kind of content and the right articulation of the information. If this resonates with you, please like and subscribe, and join the community and start sharing your experiences. And if not, then that's fine. Thank you for watching up until this point. And no matter what, go out and seize the day. Have the most amazing day, whatever you may be doing today. And remember, there's always choices in life, so choose wisely. Until the next one, bye.